Are we live?
I think we are live.
All right. We are live with episode 7 of the Zcast with Flamer and with special guest Joemet123. What do you got to say,
Hi.
Joe? Why? Is that
Juicy
what you gotta say?
meatballs only. Elite plays only.
Elite plays
Alright.
only, indeed.
That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. All right. So, Joe, how are you doing today? How are you doing today?
Pretty well. I woke up about 45 minutes ago because I went to bed at 6 o'clock. So I was gonna
Jesus,
probably
that-
sleep until like 5 in the afternoon. But no, I'm here, and I'm happy to be here.
That's great. Oh, Flamer, how you doing? As always.
I am alright, dude. I just saw that apparently OBS mixed up the names. So it's like,
Oh, great.
you are a Revolve Gamer
Fantastic.
HD!
Revive Gamer HD.
Oh, yeah.
There we
This
go.
live stream is presented to you by.
Geico.
Jesus Christ, what we're
Alright.
going to a good start with
Oh,
this.
my God.
Oh, I missed this.
This has been a big week. It's been a fun week, I guess you could say.
It's been a
Very
fun week
eventful,
indeed.
Oh my gosh. I don't
Very
know.
fun week. A lot happened. A lot to talk about. Got a lot to go over. A lot of stuff that's been happening. What's up, everyone that's in the stream? Thank you guys for coming out. All right. So, Flamer, what do you want to get into first? Like, what do you want to straight dive into?
I just want to talk about season 3 and how you guys thought season 3 launched. How the launch was for you guys.
All right. So season 3 was pretty good for me. What about you, Joe? How'd you like season 3?
I was very detailed. No, I mean, I agree. There's really not too much to complain about. I'm honestly getting mixed up in my head about what was new in Season 3 and what came in Season 2.5. Because that's when my GPU broke and everything's kind of intertwined. Was Season 2.5 when they introduced the upgrades in Onslaught, or was that Season 3?
That was season 3.
Season 2, yeah. No, season 2.
The upgrades?
Yeah. For Onslaught,
In
the
Onslaught.
overhaul.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
overhaul.
And then
Yeah,
in Season 3,
Onslaught.
they brought them into Outbreak. Yeah, and then they added the new Outbreak map.
Yeah.
Didn't they add one more thing into zombies at that point as well? Or am I...
In season
I
2
think, I'm
Reloaded?
not- Season
No, I'm
2?
talking about at the beginning of Season 3. They added the upgrades into Outbreak.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they also
yeah,
added
the
new
OG,
vehicles.
New
Wait.
vehicles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have a gun
And
now
then,
on them.
oh, PBSH.
Oh, PPSH!
Yeah.
PPSH.
It's the PPSH!
Indeed.
Which I haven't used it a lot in zombies. Used it a lot in the multiplayer,
Bro,
but
it's so good
pretty
in zombies.
It's
so
awesome.
It's pretty good.
It's
at
so
zombies.
fun
awesome.
to use in zombies. Like,
In both.
yeah, and
That's
multi
the
and
highlight
in
of the
both.
season.
I actually enjoyed when I was
played,
going for my Yamantau challenges,
Mhm.
doing that.
Yeah. I
That's
played
the highlight of the season so far for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I played it a little bit in Warzone. It's not that great in Warzone, but in zombies and multiplayer, it's pretty freaking good, to be honest.
I heard
Yeah.
it shredded in Warzone.
It does, but it also
Just not
doesn't.
for you?
No, it's no. Like basically, so with Warzone, the problem with it is the rate of fire is so fast, but the thing is the damage is so low. It's one of the lowest damages, and there's no damage multiplier from like the neck up. There's no damage multiplier, so basically it gets gunned down by any other SMG that you try to
Okay.
use because it just doesn't have the damage or the multiplier for the head and neck that you're just not gonna be able to compete with it. But yeah, in multiplayer it's a very good SMG. I was using it. Zombies it's pretty good too. But I don't know. I feel like zombies. It's like I try to use anything other than a shotgun, and it just feels weird to me now. I don't know why. Just in Cold War, when I use anything other than a shotgun, it just feels like I'm shooting like a water gun. Like I don't know. That's just how
We
it
also
feels
got
sometimes.
Toxic Growth, by the way.
Oh yeah, we also got Toxic Growth. I
Which
haven't
is
even
solid.
leveled that up
It's
yet.
awesome.
All the way.
Yeah, it's a really good
I know.
field upgrade.
I gotta do that after this podcast. I gotta play some Cold War, but
Yeah.
yeah. So, with season 3, for zombies, we got obviously Toxic Growth, and we got the everything with Outbreak so far. We also have the Outbreak Easter Egg coming soon.
Yep.
Thank the
Um,
Lord.
We finally got confirmation about that the exact same day.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good to see. Also, the vehicles they added into Outbreak right now are really awesome to use if you haven't used them yet. At least if you use them in co-op. It is so much fun driving around with your friend, and he just slams down zombies while you start shooting them. It's one of the best things ever. Me and my Dutch friend, we just played. We found that truck and we were just going ham. We were just like, we're not gonna go to any expo. We're just gonna fucking kill every zombie on the map. So
We all
just
played
went
as well.
Hey!
We all played, I think, and Tragic, and I remember being on the top of the gunner. Tragic also ran me over at one point. Thankfully, it didn't kill me, but I'm pretty sure it was all of us here. We all played Outbreak, and then we got bored and left.
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well-
There isn't really much to say about it. We got Duga, of course, new map. We got the upgrades for the Die Machine, which is actually awesome to have finally. It's actually useful now. Thank the Lord. Like,
I think they should release Outbreak right now, though. Like, I think, like, they added, like, what, 4 or 5 more maps into Outbreak. They added the DIE upgrades. Not to point anything away from it, because it's definitely good, but, like, we're all kind of looking at it like, wow, this is good. Has the potential to be more. It's just it kind of fading out now. Not that it's going to fade out, but I mean, if they were to release it now and then have the Easter egg mid-season 3, I think that would have been better off. But I guess because of lacking content, a lack of content in the game, they had to just spread it out, which is fair.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe, what are your thoughts on, like, so we've heard during the Treyarch live stream, or like premiere, you could say, that they were planning on Berlin being in a future season. What is your thoughts on that with Outbreak, taking that role so far, at least so far we know, to be like the season 3 content for the season?
I obviously want a brand new zombies map, but I don't mind at this point. I really don't mind if they take their time to make a new zombies map. And this is the issue, it's going to be a BO3 level zombies map. The issue with that is that it's probably not going to be a BO3 level zombies map. And that's not to take anything away from the Cold War zombies maps. They're doing their own thing there. Mr. Off Waffles pointed out a very good point that he wanted that he believes this game's more catered for casuals, which is an obvious.
Yeah.
But to bring in as many people as possible for the future and just kind of dial up the difficulty maybe throughout the season or going forward either in Vanguard, which I know you're going to talk about later, and or in the future zombies game, which is cool. I respect that. But I hope that the next map is a lot better, although I like Firebase C. I hope it's a lot better than Firebase C if we're waiting a long time for it.
Yeah, indeed.
I think we can all agree with that. I mean,
Yeah,
that's an obvious,
we've waited for a long time for this map to come out. Of course, we've been teased that we're gonna get the Outbreak Easter egg. The one thing is, this Outbreak Easter egg is gonna be the breaking point for Treyarch right now. If this Outbreak is not gonna
Cold
be...
War.
For Cold War, yeah.
For Cold War,
Yeah.
yes. But also, I think for Treyarch, since the standard goes down, If you're looking at the receptions right now for Treyarch Zombies, everybody's still playing Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4. Yeah, I'm gonna say Black Ops 4 since it's recently became a spike in that population.
Yeah,
with that
I want to
game.
go into BO4 later as well,
Yeah.
Flamer. I want to go into that a little bit.
Since people are so bored of Cold War right now, and if Treyarch is gonna keep going down this line that they're going right now with Easter eggs, maps, and everything, and it's just gonna be casual based, it's not gonna end up well for Treyarch itself with the hardcore zombie fans, since I know you guys want to go for the casuals, right? But you also have to think about the hardcore players, and we were talking about that in the beginning already about it, but if they were to introduce a casual and a hardcore version of the Easter egg, like with World War II, what they did, I think that will be cool. It will give the casuals to do something in the meantime. You could get challenges done. You could even put a challenge like that, like defeat the Order in Firebase C, something like that, But then you have the other Easter egg, and that's gonna be defeat the Super Order in the Firebase C. You never know. It's gonna be interesting to see what this Outbreak Easter egg is gonna bring. Is it gonna be like the Torture Path in World War II? Are we not gonna get any hints? Since I was talking about this, but if they're gonna do that, this is a guided Easter egg, they're gonna have to do the Outbreak mode itself, where you have like, you gotta go to the Outbreak zone and you gotta get this crystal. Oh, hold up, strike team, you gotta go there and grab that. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think it's just gonna be optional for people to do. They're gonna be focusing on the Outbreak zones themselves, so that's Outbreak. And then the Easter egg is there on the side, and you can choose to do it. Maybe we can get guided because of, radios on the map. But I don't think we're actually gonna get the other guys to just blatantly talk through it like, you gotta go here, you gotta go there. Like that will be too chaotic for people.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with the Easter egg because they could do a lot with it. I just hope that we see that they don't continue down the same path that they're exactly to what they've been doing because yeah, it caters to casuals and a lot of people are doing them, but
And it
I,
seems to be
I
working
it seems to be
for
working.
casuals.
But
Yeah.
it also seems that like it's not like I feel like casuals don't go on the game every day and say, okay, I'm gonna do the Easter egg again because like the what casuals want to do is they want to kill zombies, whether it's getting their challenges done for their camos or just playing zombies to have fun with their friends. Like the main goal of a casual player, usually most of the time, I would have to say, is that they get on zombies just to chill and just kill zombies because that's what
Yeah.
the game is. It's not like that Easter eggs were never for them. It's just that I see the road Treyarch is taking, and it's definitely a smart business move. But I also think that they could dial the notch up even just a little bit to make it feel like there's some sort of in between compared to, it doesn't have to be like BO3, BO4 level of quest, but something that makes they are find a middle ground for the community. They find a good, solid middle ground. I just hope they can do that. 'Cause I feel like
Yeah.
right now it's just not the case.
I mean, I agree. I don't, like you said, I don't think what they're necessarily doing is a bad thing. I think it's good if it's for the
Yeah.
future to bring casuals on board. I'm all for that. This way, the zombies community is even bigger than ever before. But I also have like one question to them, or Activision, whoever is responsible for kind of exposing it to more casuals. That's not the right word, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I know what you get.
What was wrong with the game over the last 10 years? I mean, it seemed to be pretty popular over the last 10 years. Something about what you were doing was working. Why change that?
Yeah,
You know?
because the wording is really weird, which they used for.
And that's a
what-
genuine question,
Yeah.
by the way, just not.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
did you see the interview with IGN they did? Where they were talking about how Easter eggs were done more times than any other map before in Treyarch history.
Yeah, I did see that. I honestly, I also want to see where the numbers are coming from.
Yeah,
Because those are just fed statistics from us. And I honestly don't believe that only 2% of players do Easter eggs. Maybe it's
No,
2% of
'cause-
overall Call of Duty players or whatever they said, right? I don't know.
yeah, because I made a video on that where I was touching on every single Easter egg, how many players have actually done that. Like, this was legit a week before this came out, so I was really
Yeah.
surprised to see it. And when I saw that they said that 2% only have completed an Easter egg, I was like, those are not the numbers that I have. Like, the numbers, if you're looking at trophy-wise, even though they might be glitched, some of them, but those are only the last gen ones, like the Black Ops 2 ones. You can still see that a lot of people have completed Moon as the most completed Easter egg in history of Call of Duty Treyarch. Like, that is insane to think about. That Moon, the one that is the hardest for most people on Black Ops 1,
Oh.
was the most completed one in numbers-wise.
Yeah.
Is that actually what they said, though? What he said in chat? To be fair, they said only 2% completed Easter eggs without watching a video. Because that's different.
I'm not
That's
sure
a
if they
very
went-
different point.
I'm not
I don't
sure
think
if
they said
went,
that either.
I don't think they went that specific. I'm pretty sure the claim was that there were more players completing the Easter eggs than ever before. I think that's what the general claim was.
Well, that
they
was
made.
about Cold War, but they also said
Yeah.
that the reason for that was because they kind of dumbed stuff down, and it's because they dumbed stuff down because people weren't doing the Easter eggs. They also did mention without watching videos, though, or barely anybody was doing it without watching videos. So I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah, it's interesting for that reason because I've seen a lot of people in the community recently talk about how they don't want Treyarch to guide their hand during Easter
Yeah.
egg steps or even just basic parts of zombie maps, which is definitely a fair point to say, but then it also helps casual players. It's a really weird thing because a lot of the reasons that people are starting to have mixed emotions about this game is things that Treyarch probably meant to appeal to a different audience rather than us, and it's kind of just like stuck with us now. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes of that because I don't really know what they can do to please everyone. I don't think it's possible to even please most people that are not part of the casual audience right now, which it's difficult to see because we're going to go into this later, but a little tease where we're going to go into it later is I've seen a lot of differences in today's zombies community compared to the zombies community of the past, and a lot of their main focuses and the lack of people just playing or streaming or making videos about the current game is really not concerning, but really interesting to see, the path that people are taking now.
Indeed.
I agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really interesting to see how that, and also if in that IGN post, I think they also said something about hold on, they said something about, if I
I'm looking
believe
at it right
that
now.
I'm not looking at her book. I think they said something about, I don't know, I'm pulling up.
Less than 2% of Call of Duty Zombies players completed Easter eggs. That was the claim. That was the headline of the thing. Let me just. You want me to read this out?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So, according to Corky, I'm not going to say his last name because I can't pronounce it. The reason for this is to ensure more players experience all of what Zombies has to offer. So, this is a quote from him. So much development time goes into these things, and if you look at the metrics, less than 2% of the players were actually seeing that stuff unless it was shown on YouTube. So he's talking about seeing this stuff. I don't know. That doesn't equal completion rate. Whatever. If you look at YouTube now or Reddit, a lot of people are completing their first Easter eggs ever, and they've been with the franchise for a full 10, 12 years. But that's not exactly the statistic about the Easter egg, is it? I mean, did they mention that? Because I could have sworn I remember seeing, the headline, less than 2% of Call of Duty Zombies players completed Easter eggs. But this only mentions people seeing them based off of YouTube. I don't know. It just sounds off.
Where do they get that statistics from? Because they should have to look at all these YouTubers all over the world who have uploaded stuff and have to just count up all those views and then do some kind of weird math to get that. Like it seems really off. It seems really off. It seems like they just put this out of the hat just to say, yeah, only 2% has done it. Like there's probably some truth in it, but
I agree. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't sound real, in my opinion. If you look at all the things that Treyarch is known for, its multiplayer, yes, back in the day, but now it's known for zombies. If you're thinking Treyarch, you're thinking zombies.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, also if they're basing it off of Black Ops 4, I mean, not to say the community was dead during Black Ops 4, because it definitely wasn't. I think it was arguably more alive during each DLC release than it was here. Arguably. And I forgot where I was going with that. But, shit, what was I saying? Oh, no, it was arguably more alive. Oh, yeah, and, more people were probably not doing Easter eggs in Black Ops 4 than maybe even own the game. So maybe that's why the percentage was skewed. Maybe by the end of the season, people were just getting bored, and there's a motorcycle outside. Hopefully you can hear that. But people were getting bored, and maybe they just stopped playing. Like World War II, for example. They had a lot of people own the game, but not a lot of people, as the season went on, actually cared anymore. To the point where Fortnite was so popular, that was a different case, and they just stopped caring. I know I just said Black Ops 4 was arguably a little more popular, but still, it's a toss-up, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe people got bored and they just kind of left, and that's why the percentage is skewed. Who knows? That's what I want to know. Where's the data coming from?
Yeah.
Where exactly, and what time period, and yeah.
Yeah, and
exactly.
An interesting thing I wanted to point out too in the blog or the interview was that they say that that the IGN say that one of the biggest concerns of zombie players have had with the Easter eggs and how to accomplish them, which I don't think necessarily everyone had that concern, or most people. I feel like with BO4 that was a, like, I guess you could say concern, but then again, maps like Alpha, Omega, and Tagger Totem were extremely easy to do. They were very easy to do once you knew how to do them. It just took a little bit, and I think what they say that they've made, they try to make it, where they're still challenging, but they're more accessible. I think that one thing that could be a little bit more, I don't know what they can do, but I think that they could try to make the Easter eggs a little bit longer, because I feel like a lot of the Cold War ones are very short and to the point and very easy, but I think you can also make something that's accessible that is a little bit longer, right? Because I think that's a thing where, there's a lot of steps, but they're easier to do, and they're more, you don't really have to think about it too much, even though personally I would like to see more steps like in the past, where we have things like puzzle steps and things that took actual brain power to actually solve. Like, nothing crazy like, some of the Infinite Warfare stuff I remember in that DLC cycle, but, something that just changes up the formula of the Easter egg, so it's not always the same thing of just, take this to this location, kill this enemy, kill this, take this essence to this. It's like a lot of it's kind of just like running back and forth between the map. It's not a lot of you have to actually, you know, um, work with the environment of the map and actually do things in the map. Because in the past we've seen that they've done that before. Maps like Garth Crovey and Drak and a lot of other maps that have been, the Easter eggs kind of felt more ingrained with the actual map itself. And I feel like they've been almost more of a they got away from the surface level of zombies in a way. If that makes sense. Where the quest is kind of like, okay, this is built on top of the map experience. It's not built within the map.
Lots of depth.
The one thing is,
on any other map it wouldn't work.
I just got a really interesting one from Leaf. He said probably looked at DLC purchases and compared it to Easter egg completion / achievements, but still MP only players who purchase DLC will be included in that statistic, throwing it off. And I think that could be what they're actually looking at. Since if you look at it, like, if you are looking at a DLC like Death of the Night, that was bought 6,000 times, it says, purchased or redeemed.
We needed the Black Ops Pass, so I guess downloaded.
Yeah, but if you look at both statistics for the multiplayer maps and then zombies, the MP maps were really high. There was like 22k people who downloaded those maps, and then Death of the Night was only 6k people. So
on PlayStation, right?
Yeah. I don't know how it is on the Xbox One yet, since I'm still working on that video. But the things I already found for that are really interesting, because a lot of those you can already see that a lot of achievements on there are glitched. Like, you cannot say like, yo, Origins 80% completion rate. I don't think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting indeed.
And another thing I wanted to bring up too is that with this game, I've seen a lot of people just the lack of replayability for this game has been an issue for a lot of people. And I don't know what Treyarch can do. Like, I don't know if you guys have any ideas what Treyarch can do to improve that, for more of the people that have been playing for years and years. Why exactly? Like, I want to figure out why exactly not a lot of people are interested in playing the game.
You want to know
because
why?
they're releasing basic maps. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Flamer.
No, indeed, what Joe just said, basic maps.
Oh, okay. Well, you want me to go more in depth on that?
Sure.
Or you want to
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, basically, if when you release a map like a Drak, a Gorod Crovey, even a Zetsubo no Shima, regardless of your thoughts on it, you're releasing a very, very high quality map, right? A map with maybe quite a few side Easter eggs, but a really a really beautiful map. I don't have the right word on the top of my head, but like, you go on the map and you're like, wow, this is a really unique area. You go on Firebase C, you look at it, and you can kind of tell. And again, this is not to discredit anything from Cold War, right? Just how it is. You go into it, and it feels like, a multiplayer area which strategically placed bloodstains all around. They just throw stuff in there to make it zombified. It's not a zombies map. It's like an MP map with zombies kind of like aspects just tossed around to kind of make it fit. And to be fair, it could be because of COVID. It could be could be for some other reasons. But if it is for the reason that they want to keep it basic, this way they just have a lot of content instead of high quality content, I think that is also contributing, regardless of the reason, to be honest. The fact is that the maps are more basic. All the content's very basic, but there's a lot of it. And it's meant to be dispersed kind of like, just how they say that the game is 3 games in one, right? You have a campaign, a multiplayer, and a zombies. Mm-hmm. You can kind of think of like all the zombies content like that. All the zombies content is kind of meant to be shared in one. Not that they can charge separate for all of it, but it's kind of meant to all be played equally, if you will. Yeah. Like, all of them are equally important. So it's not just like we're getting traditional zombies maps. Oh, and then, okay, we have Outbreak on the side and Onslaught. It's like, no, we have Onslaught, Outbreak, and these zombies experiences. And as such, since there's so much content, they're a little bit more basic, but that's what allows them to get out more content. I think we'd all prefer here, at least, that they just release regular, higher quality, with the Rise and Drak and Origins, a Mob of the Dead type map, like a traditional zombies experience. Instead of all the other stuff, but I think that's what's keeping the casuals in tune. So they're doing what they need to do for the business. Hopefully, as Eric Maynard mentioned, I know he really loves Cold War and is a protector of it, and that's fine. I respect that. What he said is that, hey, they saw numbers, they said one thing, so they changed. If the numbers say something else now, they'll change back if they need to, which is something that I kind of was put off. So if they need to, by the numbers, they will change. So.
Yeah. It is also really interesting with what they're doing right now, since they said that Outbreak was one of the most played zombies modes in a while at release. So I'm like, okay, if you're gonna be looking at that, they're gonna be, yo, we're gonna be bringing out more and more Outbreak maps. But they're probably gonna see that right now with this new map added, not a lot of people played it. I know people who play zombies every single day and they're like, oh yeah, still the new map, Duga? Yeah, I haven't played it. Also maps? Yeah, I haven't played it.
That's cool. That's cool, but you know.
It's not mine.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can understand that. But also, if you look at the multiplayer aspect, like we were discussing this. You do know about the Yamantau DLC leak, right?
The what?
Yamantau, Mount Yamantau.
No. Oh, I heard about it. I don't know all
Yeah.
about it though. No.
So
I was out of the loop during that period.
we are thinking, at least that's what me and Revive were saying, is, you know how we have the Yamantau map right now in multiplayer?
Yes.
They might have switched it up with Berlin right now. And that the Yamantau map that we have right now, because if you go an Onslaught on there, it looks like a really decent zombies map.
Is that hold on. Is that the one that kind of looks like Summit a little bit? Is that the map?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I said that the first time I went in. I was like, look at this. This looks like a zombies area.
Yeah.
Especially when you cave in down in the snow. Yeah. But I mean, that would be such a small zombies map. That's the only issue.
Yeah. And I was like, they have to have scrapped this as a zombies map and then made this a multiplayer map, since why else would they make it that the season 3 intro for this, when you're going into loading screen, it's gonna be ice-based. You see all these jellyfish around you. You don't see that in the other multiplayer version. You don't see that in fire-based. You just see like the in the Vietnam zone, you see like the background that it's purple, and that's it. But now you can actually see jellyfish. You can see ether crystals everywhere. So in the back of my mind, I was thinking, hey, maybe this was gonna be the Yamantau map, and maybe that's why they put it in Onslaught, since it was kind of finished right now. So that I have another multiplayer map to use. But it actually looks a lot like a zombies map. The way it's placed, the way it feels. Like, I was looking around the map and I saw like, okay, you could place a perk machine right here. You can place a wall weapon right here. Like, it's interesting to see what they're doing with this. Since I was thinking, this is a multiplayer map, but it looks like a zombies map. And
yeah, there's a few of them like that.
Yeah, and that's the exact opposite I have with Firebase. I'm like, yeah, this is a multiplayer map. Like what you said, this is a multiplayer map. Yo, you have your catwalk right here. Yeah, you have somebody camping in there in that window. Like, I'm not gonna be surprised if they're gonna add Firebase somehow to Fire Team Dirty Bomb or something.
To be honest though, like, aside from Dark Ether mode, I think Firebase C does look a lot better than Demon Machine.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, Demon Machine is way too bright. I feel like if they would have just made it a nighttime map, that would have changed everything.
I
just can't go into a zombies map and have it white in the sky. Just wrong.
Did you see the leaked Demon Machine Alpha?
Yeah, I saw that. Somebody tweeted it to me and they said Berlin leaked gameplay, or they put it in my Discord. I was like, no, this is Demon Machine.
It's not Berlin.
I know. I said. From what I can see, it looks like you're standing in the back of Spawn and D Machina.
Yeah.
To the left is your puddle. To the right is downstairs towards power, and in the back you're seeing knocked. And I believe that's what it is. I haven't looked to confirm that, but it looks exactly like that.
Yeah, and
so
it also says grab the machine part and everything.
Oh.
And,
I didn't even look that deep.
It's interesting to see the sky on there. It is so much better looking than the Dark Ether that we got right now. What were they thinking? Why did they scrap it?
It could just be the quality of the picture, because I think it wasn't taken on like a mobile device.
Yeah.
It could just be,
It could be
I
don't
know. Yeah, it looks like there's like stars and shit too. It does look interesting.
It looks so
but
much
it could
better.
just be the image.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more thing I wanted to go into is a difference between the current zombie maps, and I guess I want to kind of make a comparison to custom zombies. Actually, is with custom zombies, right? Most of the time, right? You can't really find a map where you play it more than like 1 or 2 times because you just play it and when you're done with it, you're done, right? Most custom maps, unless there's that really good one that wants you to keep playing,
Leviathan.
right? Like Leviathan, those maps, but those are rare. What I think that has happened with Cold War, maybe to an extent, is that with custom zombies maps, it takes the same layout of BO3 with a lot of the same weapons we've seen in zombies, and they just add a new area, a new play space, usually, and sometimes a quest, but that's about it to the map experience most of the time. And I think that's kind of what's happening with Cold War to an extent because every base foundation of the game is available on every single map, no matter what you play. Whether it's your specialist equipment or your grenades or your streaks or your armor, everything is basically the same on every single map. So far we've only had the main differences would be the Aether scope on D Machine, but that was a use for the Easter egg. We haven't actually had something where you build and it's map exclusive, where you feel like okay, it's not a wonder weapon, right? Where that's its own map thing. But I think we're kind of missing a lot of the unique elements that maps used to have in the past that kind of made their identity, if that
Yeah.
makes any sense. Another example is traps. We haven't actually had traps yet in the game, and a lot of people, when they think of maps like maybe like off of my head, Below the Dead has that trap in the Industries building. That's the main one people know that, and a lot of different traps and equipment like the Hell's Retrievers. A lot of these things kind of
Yeah.
make a map have its own identity that we haven't actually got because of the current systems in Cold War. At least from what I've been noticing.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. The one thing that I've been noticing is that if we are to get traps, I do think we're gonna get them next map. Since if you read the intels of this map, the Stranger, which is a really interesting character, who's the guy who's sending us the diaries and everything. He actually talks about making homemade traps for zombies and using it against people, and he put them in the dark ether for people to use. So we might be looking at some of them later on down the line. And I do think it will be cool if, with the salvage system, maybe we could buy traps, with salvage, and we can place them down. I think that would be really interesting to see the placement of homemade traps. Like, you have your Home Alone style kind of zombies map. Just like, oh, you put a trap here, yo, he's burnt. Put a trap there, yo, he's electrified. Put a trap there, oh, he just got impaled. I think
Sounds
that
like
will make...
IW zombies.
Yeah, like IW zombies. I think that will be really good.
Yeah, I think I have an unpopular opinion when it comes to this because when it comes to things like the traps and a lot of the equipment, honestly, I think the difference between this and BO3 and even BO4 is a lot of the things that made the maps have its own personality kind of changed. And as Slaver was saying, a lot of the different traps are really fun to use, right? And sometimes you'd go on a certain map like Call of the Dead, for example, had the zip lines and things like that, where it's more unique things that make a map have a different experience every time you play that certain map.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I
Yeah.
talked about over the course of a few videos about how in Black Ops 4 and World War II Zombies they had a ton of different DLC weapons. They threw them all into the box and it kind of ruined it. But when you think to Black Ops 3 Zombies, from DE to Zetsubo no Shima to Gorod Grovey to Revelations, each and every single one of those maps has unique pool weapons. Not as unique as in Black Ops 2 Zombies, where you go from Die Rise to Mob of the Dead to Buried to Origins, right? All of those maps also have a unique weapon pool, like
Yeah.
so unique that each and every single map feels like a completely different map, even though it's in the same game, regardless of that different area. And then I said in Cold War, I want Treyarch to pick our box weapons for us, and it seems like that's what may be coming in the future. I'd be very excited about that because we saw in World War II and Cold War it didn't work, and in BO3 and BO2 when they did that, it worked very, very well. So going forward in Cold War, you notice they didn't put any of the DLC weapons, maybe I think 1 or 2 into the box, but they really didn't put any of the DLC weapons into the box. So hopefully in the future they throw a unique pool of box weapons at us, and that'll help to fix what you guys were saying. The uniqueness in the gameplay per map. I think it's very important that we have our own unique pool of box weapons. That we have our own stuff per map that we build and stuff, and then who knows,
Yeah.
they can have our own specialist, and that could replace your specialist for all you know. But I think the box weapons are also very important.
Yeah,
More overlooked than
100%.
people think.
100%. I think that's very important to have each map have its own weaponry because, if you go from a place like, Poland, right, where and D Machine in that area, and Firebase, Vietnam, and you go to an area like Germany, there's not always going to be the same weapons. Like there could be unique weapons that only
Yeah,
they
we
use.
could get
or,
the MP40. That's
yeah,
what I'm
stuff
already
like-
going to be
stuff like
saying.
that.
Next
Yeah.
map, we're going to get straight with the season, we're going to get the MP40. It has to be. If we're going Germany, they have to give us the MP40. If they're going to give us the PPSH because we're going to Mount Gemmental, they have to give us the MP40.
I don't know. I just hope they pick the box weapons for us. I think I'm tired of people telling Treyarch what to do. To be honest,
Yeah.
they have done a good job themselves at
Yes,
creating an
indeed.
amazing zombies experiences. We don't know what we want, and that's been very clear over the last 4 or 5 years. Let them do
Yes.
their job, and there's always going to be people who like it and who don't like it, and that's just it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. And
Like,
and we're gonna go into that soon here too as
Yeah.
well.
I want
with
to
the
touch
lo-
upon one more thing during this.
Okay.
Is that they added last week with Season 3, they added the ballistic knives. And they
Mm-hmm.
actually took the feedback from Black Ops 4's ballistic knives and put it in Cold War. Everybody loved reviving each other with the ballistic knives. They put that back in. That was something unique about the ballistic knives, and they finally put it back in, and people were so happy when they saw it. Like, I was so happy when I saw it, and it's made for some fun moments. Sorry. And also, the ballistic knife is right now one of the best weapons to use, which it was never before, with the use of the upgrade system. And I think that makes it more awesome if we could get like the ballistic knife from the box, like you're saying, Joe. In the next map, yo, you're gonna get a ballistic knife. Yo, it's gold. Yo, let's go.
And maybe strategically as well. Like Gorod, they put the shadow clothes in there. The boss fight was hard. It was used to revive people. Use it strategically. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Let Treyarch do their job, and then I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, indeed. And like you said, I do think that we're going to be looking at it soon, since all the DLC weapons that were added with Season 3 were suddenly inside of the trial system as weapons. And we all know that the trial weapons are in the box, all of them. Not beforehand, we never got any DLC weapons until this. So they're probably testing stuff right now.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to mention too is for zombies for the future. I kind of hope that they, as Joe said, a lot of people don't really know what they want, but I think that something that I definitely think that they can, I think they will definitely improve is the boss fights for the maps. I think
Yes.
that,
Yes,
with D Machine, I think from D Machine to Firebase, they definitely improved from what they had back to back. But
And they also
I think
teased
they
them in
can
the
even-
machine already, the Orda.
Yeah, I definitely think with Outbreak and Berlin, I really think that they might. Hopefully they might, increase the boss fight because I feel like, at the very least, if the Easter egg is a little bit more on the easy side, maybe we get something more like a more difficult boss fight because it makes casual players go, okay, this boss fight actually has a learning curve. Let me learn it, and try to see if I can defeat it. Have maybe something where it's wave based, right? And like in the
Nobody
past.
should go in and complete the Easter egg boss fight in the first attempt.
I
What
100%
happened to that?
Yep.
Dying Wish killed that in BO4 because it had amazing boss fights, but Dying Wish killed that. I mean, it still happened, to be honest, so I guess we'll give it that. But Dying Wish killed that, and in this game, they're just, there's only been one. And just very quickly on what you said, without a doubt, Firebase is easily better than D Machine or an upgrade from D Machine, regardless of which one you like more. There's no argument from the Easter egg side, right, that there's an upgrade there.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of the Wonder Weapon effectiveness, I guess it depends on the strap, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I just hope they continue to build on top of that because I think that it could definitely improve the game because right now it feels like that, first time you go into the boss fight, you beat it basically. Like, there's not really any difficulty anymore. I feel like in the past there was, some sort of sense of like, okay, I don't know what's happening. Like, I see people in the boss fight, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know what kind of wave there is, what boss might come in the middle of it. I feel like so far it's just been kind of like, okay, we have these guys, we have to protect this guy, and then now at Firebase we have shoot the Orda. And I hope that they build on top of that and make it even more, more crazy. As Craig Houston has mentioned that the story is really going to start picking up in Outbreak during this main quest, and things are going to really start having a bigger meaning. So we're going to hopefully see what that means, and when it comes to gameplay, as well. So yeah, I think that's for that. I think we can move on. Flamer, unless you have any final things to talk about there.
Not really. We've talked about the future of Call of Duty, and we're basically talking about Season 3. What I do want to touch up on, the nuke event.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about that.
What a dumpster fire that was.
So yeah, let's go into that. So last week, guys, after we ended, the first part of the nuke event happened, right? And that was interesting to see what happened there, because it was basically a giant game of zombie royale from all the way in October in Warzone, and at the end of it there was a cutscene. That's basically what the first part was.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people had mixed reception on, because they've been really hyping up this event, and I do think personally that the plans changed for the event probably not too long ago. I don't think this is what they had planned from last year. I don't think that's what they fucking had planned, to be honest. How about you, Flamer? What do you think about the first part of the event?
I thought the first part itself, I thought it was more gonna be based around, we're gonna try to get to one point and then everyone's gonna go to shit, you know? I didn't expect that we were gonna be turning into zombies. I thought it was gonna be more based on like Left 4 Dead, where we're gonna get, like, the one thing that I hated in this event is that we only saw the Warzone zombies. We didn't see the Treyarch zombies at all, even though
Which
they
is really
are the
weird,
ones.
because they were the ones they were using throughout the whole cycle of that.
Yeah,
It was really weird
indeed.
how they
And suddenly they're
abandoned
gone. Everybody's gone. Oh yeah, if you die, you become a zombie. What? Where did the zombies go? Like, are they going over the Ural Mountain right now and just running to Yemen Town?
I don't know what happened with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then part two, right? Part two happened, and we were on Rebirth Island, and we nuked up Verdansk after, which was kind of weird how they basically were like, okay, they pulled this is 10 minutes before the nuke of Verdansk, and we actually nuked Verdansk, and then after that, we went back in time into the old map, which I've played a few games of. I played a decent amount of games. It's basically, it still feels like Verdansk. It's literally just Verdansk with a couple new POIs, but the problem is, the POIs that everyone went to in the past, they stayed the same, basically.
Yeah.
So there's not really a big feeling, because you're not going to really go out of your way to go to Summit most of the time, or go to Farmland, which is Standoff. Like, you're not going to really go to those areas, because they're out there on the outskirts, and not many people like to go there. But yeah, I think that I think that Warzone for this season, it's good for Warzone fans, but it's not something that's going to get me to play more.
I actually deleted Warzone since I was just done with it. I was like, I'm going to be watching this event if it's going to be good. If the map's going to be good, I'm going to keep it. If it's not, I'm just going to... Like, I am sad that they removed them, because now you have like this giant-ass ravine, and I legit, every single time I got there, I just got a headache. That's how big it is. And then I just get sniped from the backside of a map by a fucking hack. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, the first time that we actually did that event, and we got into Verdansk 84, you just get dropped in at a certain location, and that's it. You cannot choose, like in another thing. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna be the helicopter, we're gonna go there. Nope. You just get dropped at, what did we get? Construction site?
Yeah. It was a different construction site. It's really random how they did it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Warzone, honestly, it's not something I'm gonna play that much, because it's just not like it's so hard to find people who really just want to play it, and it's not the same that it was in the past. But something I do want to touch on a little bit. I want to see how Joe thinks. In Season 3 Reloaded, which, by the way, is under, like, it's like 20 days away from now, we should be getting Season 3 Reloaded.
Yes.
So we should get hopefully, I'm pretty sure we're going to get the Outbreak Easter Egg during that, which is its own excitement. But there's also something else I'm excited for, and it's called Multi-Team Elimination. It's coming to the Fire Team maps in Cold War, which is basically a battle royale. in Cold War, which I think I was asking for this since the beta of the game when they introduced Fire Team. I'm like, these maps could fit perfectly as mini BR maps, and that's what they're doing. It seems like so. I'm really excited to see how that works as well, and maybe I think that might actually be what I play more than Warzone. You know, 'cause, I rather just stay on the same game. You know, have everything on the same game. You know, why am I gonna go play something else when everything's gonna be on the same game? And I mean, I can't wait for me and Flamer and hopefully Joe to try it out and see how that works and hopefully have some fun there.
It's gonna be interesting.
I think season 3 Reloaded has definitely a big. I think it might actually be better than season 3 for zombie fans specifically. What do you think about that? Ed?
I hope so.
I hope so as well. To be honest,
I hope so as well.
just because I feel like a new Easter egg should hopefully bring in some life to Outbreak especially, and something I'm not gonna hope for too much, but it's really interesting, Joe, how we haven't actually gotten a new mode. I'm talking about like a survival based mode, like a different mode for survival based zombies
I miss
since
Cranked.
season 1.
Cranked was awesome, and then they took it out.
Cranked was awesome, but that wasn't until like what season 1 Reloaded? I think that was.
I think it was a little bit after Jingle Hells, yeah, which was
So that was almost 4 months. I think it's been like 4 months nearly.
I don't know. I want Crank Firebase Eve soon. Like I love Cranked. It was.
And also,
it worked well.
I hope that they introduce some new modes too, like because it feels like they were starting to be like, okay, we're actually going to release new modes of zombies, and after Outbreak came out, they kind of paused on that and just worried about Outbreak zones. But hopefully now that they can introduce more modes of survival, you know, hopefully grief, that'd be great. But
yes, please, grief. We need it. They have these outbreak modes, which is perfect for grief. Imagine just full out, imagine Battle Royale, but with grief. That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, we got plenty of time. We still have. I honestly still like to look at it as what do we have? 3 seasons. So we have 6 seasons left, to be honest. Like they release content every half a season, so we have 6 potential seasons of releases. 3 of those could, in fact, although it looks unlikely, be zombies maps for all we know.
Yeah.
Then the other 3 could be modes. You know, Outbreak stuff we know is allotted to one of them. And then after that, I mean, for Outbreak, after that, what else could we be getting? Maybe one more map in Outbreak. You know, they can even softly launch an Outbreak map alongside a main zombies map at that point. Because it's not going to really matter. And how's that going to work with the Easter egg? So,
I wonder what they're going to do for that too. Is there only going to be one Outbreak Easter egg, or as they add more maps? Like I know we still have a couple of maps from the Ural Mountains, like Weather Station, Chemical Labs, locations like that haven't been added yet. And I wonder if those are gonna, after all those have been added, if there's going to be another quest. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how that would work because. It seems like we have to see how the Outbreak Easter egg goes, and then we can start going from there and see what kind of direction they're going to take the narrative for this game. But yeah, it's going to be. I really wonder what's going to happen, to be honest, because we have like you said, we basically have 6 seasons left of content, like 6. Technically, it's technically 3, but
they don't really matter anymore than anime. Every half that really they even released Firebase at a quarter point at 3.75 or 1.75. So it's just whenever they feel like dropping it, they'll drop it.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's going to be interesting. That also go into a later point that another topic we're going into about World War II Vanguard. We'll go into later, but so yeah, anything you guys want to bring up about this topic before we move on?
I'm excited for the Outbreak Easter egg. It should be fun. It should definitely be a game changer for zombies, regardless if you like Outbreak or not, because it's the first time we're ever going to have a massive Easter egg in a side mode. And then as for grief, I do agree. I don't think we need more game modes, to be honest. I think it would be nice to have more game modes. I don't think grief is going to be the love and savior, Jesus Christ, when it comes to the game. I actually said this like a few months ago at launch. People were like, we need grief. No disrespect, Flamer, at all, obviously. I just don't think it's like the be-all, end-all. It would be great, just not the be-all, end-all.
Yeah.
And then just quick on the Warzone, I don't really care about it. That's why I didn't comment on it.
Okay.
Oh no, don't worry. We're not the biggest fans either, but I still can't wait to see what happens with the Cold War stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I guess we can move on to our, basically the newest topic that happened yesterday, most of the part, and we could talk a little bit more about it just in general. World War II Vanguard. If you guys didn't see yesterday, there was quite a weird situation that happened. There was basically a guy on, I think it's like a 4chan website, basically saying that um, World War II Vanguard was basically getting canceled, and Sledgehammer was put back on the back burner, which I don't even know how that got to be believed by most people in the first place, because that also came with the fact that the Modern Warfare 2 Remastered multiplayer was going to drop, and I just that would be the stupidest marketing decision by Activision I've seen in my life, if I'm honest. That would be terrible because like you'd be putting yourself in a hellhole, because if you're releasing a Modern Warfare sequel the next following year, it's going to be like a lot of people are going to be weirded out by that. You just played like how would that even work, right? Because like how would that work, Flamer? How would that work? How would they make a Modern Warfare 2 remastered game, which is on like an older engine of like COD 4 remastered, and then the next year you basically have a Modern Warfare 2 sequel on the new engine? I just don't think it would ever work.
I don't think it works. No.
Well,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were inclined to believe it because, if I'm remembering properly, and I could be wrong, the thing got copyrighted, and it was taken down. So, I mean, Activision's done this in the past with fake stuff, but usually, if there's something that leaks out early, usually gameplay or something like that, they strike it down. So it was just interesting to see them knock that down.
Immediately.
I honestly don't have any thoughts about. Yeah, exactly. I don't have any thoughts about MW2 remat, whatever the hell it's gonna be. I really don't care. I'm just honestly hoping we have a fun COD, and I honestly want zombies in the next game.
Oh yeah.
That's really about it.
Or
another side mode. Something fun.
Yeah.
But I'd prefer zombies.
I think that what's it called that also goes into discussion of I think we talk about, should there be a zombie mode in this next game, or should they do a continuation of Cold War zombies like content? And it's interesting, right? Because for Sledgehammer, maybe just say that we go with the rumors that this game is an utter mess right now and it's really hard to develop for. What if Activision says, okay, you guys don't have to do zombies because it would probably not work out with how much you have to worry about multiplayer in your campaign. So just don't do a third mode, or if they do a third mode, make it more simple or something that isn't zombies. Because I wonder, because if you think about it, with Treyarch saying that Outbreak and Zombies has been the highest in player count ever since, why would they not want to continue that into the next life cycle, especially with the shop and them making a lot of money that way? With
Treyarch is another game to work on. That's the issue.
Yeah, it is an issue, but I mean, to be honest, we've seen in the past that they've been able to work on post-launch content and still be able to launch a game. BO4 wasn't the best launch, but they still provided Zombie Chronicles and multiple updates afterwards. Like I remember the BO3 still got updates in 2018, early 2018. And I don't.
They
see
were
why
light updates, though. That's the
They
difference.
were light updates, but Chronicles was the big update, and that came on the second year, which I think
And that
they
was
could
done
do
from Revelations, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah. But I still think that they would benefit from doing something like that, though, because they could sell it for a price, and they could do something where a lot of people would buy that. If you are Activision and you see that you have so many numbers on a game mode finally, and it's really been pushed off, and casual players are playing, why would you not want to do everything in your power to have something even more for players to want to buy or want to, and keep their play time up for the game? I just feel like that would benefit them, especially if the next game doesn't have zombies. But that's only if the next game does not have zombies.
Yeah, it will benefit them a lot if they were to do that.
Thankfully, that didn't show. I just flashed a picture of me in a Mario costume when I was 6 years old on the screen. Halloween, baby.
Yes.
Halloween. Jesus Christ.
Oh my. Do you guys think that if it's gonna be Sledgehammer still, if World War II Vanguard somehow gets the green light, right? Do you guys think it will feature the continuation of World War II Zombies? Or a new story?
I don't think so. And that's another thing too. With the Dark Aether story, I just can't imagine them doing another story right now. I don't see Activision being like, okay, Sledgehammer, you can do your whole separate zombie story. I don't.
Yo, they're bringing
see
Oz
them doing
back.
that. It's really hard for me to believe that they would do another zombie story now because it feels like with Dark Aether, they're like, okay, this is the zombie story right now. This is the one zombie story that we want to do, and we want to build off of it and see what happens because, we haven't actually had another zombie like story going on since World War II.
Yep.
Everything since it's just not been, and I think that from Activision standpoint, they're like, why are we gonna make another zombie mode that most people aren't gonna enjoy compared to Treyarch, especially the
IW
casual.
Zombies better than BO2.
Okay, Joe, calm down.
IW Zombies better than Black
You're
Ops 2 Zombies.
Joe, you're gonna piss people off, Joe. You're gonna piss people off in the chat. You're gonna piss people off in the chat, Joe.
I mean,
Joe, it's all right. But
it does have a point.
I think that regardless of what we think, I think that we also have to look at it from Activision's point of view because they're the ones that make the big decisions, especially when it comes to what they put their money in and budget into. So I just don't know if a zombie mode would benefit Activision to do another story on top of the Dark Aether story
I think
right now.
what should happen is there should be like Destiny's thing that they should just cut off from Activision so that they can do their own stuff. I know it's not gonna happen, but it will be the best for them.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that would happen, but I think the whole reason why COD exists is because of Activision, which sucks. But
Yep.
Yeah, the chances of Activision just not existing for Call of Duty.
It's literally zero because
It's not gonna happen.
investors. It's their biggest thing. It's literally their biggest thing, and investors. That's what a lot of investors invest the company into is because of Call of Duty, because that's literally what they make the most money from. It's not their mobile games or it's Call of Duty. It's what they make all their money for. Yeah.
What were you just talking about a second ago? I don't know why. It just slipped through my head.
We were just talking World War II.
Oh yeah, okay. So, I don't know. The issue with what you were saying, and I mean it still could definitely happen, is that, in the future after this zombies game, what are they gonna do? Treyarch's gonna. What if it's not Treyarch's turn? They're gonna have 3 years of zombies content. Like what if they go back to a 3-year cycle? 3 years of zombies content. IW's not gonna launch with the zombies. You know what I mean? Say it does launch with Spec Ops. Then we're left, I guess, for a year without zombies. But like, I don't know. I feel you. I do think that there should be one story, but I also don't want anybody else writing the Treyarch zombie storyline. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And at the same time, if I don't know, the other side, the other zombies games weren't bad. That's the issue. Like World War II had Fortnite going for it. Not that World War II was a great game. I honestly think World War II was good. It was just boring. But like World War II had Fortnite during its life cycle, and IW was honestly solid. It just had people shitting on it because of the MP. Yeah, Black Ops 3 worked because the MP was fun and the zombies was fun. The zombies was amazing. You know what I mean, though? Like they both are equally as important.
Yeah,
I feel.
Of course, and it's like maybe they go through a different mode than zombies, which
I would be fine with that. Each developer has their own mode.
I could see them doing that, to be honest. Do another mode that's not zombies, and maybe it's something new. I think that could honestly be their best interest because
and look how that turned out.
Spec Ops is gross.
Yeah,
Spec Ops is a waste of time.
I don't know.
Deserves.
It's also we had the rumors which would definitely change things up. What if Treyarch literally doesn't have a zombies in the next game? What if that doesn't happen?
I'm out. No way.
But the thing is, Joe, remember the rumors of a zombie standalone game. What if what if during the Treyarch year that is what we get?
That's different. Then I'm back. But
you get what I'm saying though, Joe? Why would the Activision be like, okay, we have this standalone zombie game that's supposed to be one of the biggest zombie things we've ever done. Why would we try to pull zombies even more when we know that there's going to be this other side, other big side thing that they're working on? I feel like they're going to kind of just try to do whatever they can with this Dark Aether story right now. And I think from there, they're probably going to figure out what they're going to do with the standalone game. Because
I think that's the move too. For everything.
I think that's the move, because why would you start like a World War II Vanguard? Why would you start another zombie story just for it to not matter because you're releasing a standalone game in under probably let's say a year or two? Like I don't see why they would invest in that. I feel like they'd probably go for a different mode, which I think could work if they do it right and make it fun.
You want to know what's funny?
What's up?
I remember. I'm pretty sure it was Dan Bunting specifically. I remember him saying like a few times You know, we have this amazing Call of Duty game. We could charge, $60 for each game individually. This is 3 massive experiences in one, and it's gonna wind up that way. I mean, we have Warzone that's free to play, unless Zombies goes free to play in the standalone. That would be insane. And maybe you have to buy the add-on. I doubt it. But
I think if they do that, they'd probably have to do DLC packs for money or something.
Well,
or some
Zombies going to be standalone. MP will then be its separate thing alongside campaign. At that point, who knows? Maybe campaign will be an add-on to the regular game, and Call of Duty will just be multiplayer. Imagine.
Yeah. I think that probably will happen in the next 10 years. Not probably soon. Probably not soon, because I don't think that Activision looks like that. But I think that very soon, if that zombie standalone game rumor starts to pick up again, within the next year, that could change how zombies is viewed, and that could really, because I think that's a major issue too. Is with a lot of people, I kind of want to go into this too. A lot of people have had hunger for content, and I remember I wanted to bring up the Mr. Raffle Waffles video. I don't know if you've watched it, Joe, where he was talking about how people are, it's kind of like the Fortnite effect, where a lot of people are just wanting content and more content, and they're consuming content and at a very rapid rate that people haven't, realized that how much people, how fast people consume content now. And it's going to be
there's definitely truth to that.
Yeah, because I feel like nowadays we consume a whole entire map and all of its side quests and main quests.
But it's different. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the only issue, is that it's different. That's why it's hard to tell in terms of zombies. The map, the game, this game is not designed to be like Black Ops 3 Zombies at all. It's supposed to, like we talked about before, it's supposed to be a lot more basic, but offer more content. That's why we're mowing through Zombies maps, Outbreak maps, Onslaught maps, just rapid fire. That's it. We're bored of it. If they release a regular Zombies map, I agree with him and you. I definitely think we'd get through it a lot quicker than beforehand. But even think back to BO3, from Zetsubo to Golrod. Even for the people who like it, there was a dead period. Even from DE to Zet, but Golrod to Rev, there was a small dead period. You know what I mean? It wasn't as active from the launch. So that's always going to happen, and I definitely agree it'll happen even more now, even if they release a Black Ops 3 level map. But for Cold War's case, I don't think we can look at it like that necessarily, just because the game's designed differently.
Yeah, and another thing is too that people don't realize is that back in the day we literally had nothing. In BO3, when there was a map and after it came out, there was nothing else. There was no extra game modes. There was no outbreak. Yeah. There was no content added. There was no guns really added. That's
why the maps were so good.
I remember when DLC guns were added in multiplayer, we had to wait until the next DLC map to even have a possibility of seeing them in the game. We didn't have them to use, and we didn't have all these updates coming out through and in the middle of maps. We never had this before, and I think people forget that sometimes, is that we've went from this model of only having DLC packs to have actual updates that change the mode fundamentally throughout the year. We've never really had that before. So, yeah, I think that, honestly, as long as they keep updating this game and keep making significant changes to, hopefully get more modes and more Outbreak content updates and more Outbreak changes and survival maps and survival map updates, I think this game will probably end up as a good game overall, but we're just going to have to wait to see about that.
Indeed. We're just going to have to see what the future holds for Call of Duty right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just uncertain with how everything's going.
Yeah, especially with all the rumors of like spreading apart games, so.
Yeah.
And also, I do have to say that leaks kind of do ruin that experience, because people are expecting a map soon if a leak comes out.
Yeah, they're completely within their rights to do so. I saw what Revive said about the content thing. I completely disagree with it, but about how people can't say that at this point in Black Ops 4 we had 6 maps. At this point in Black Ops 3 we had this many maps. I feel you, and I agree with you to an extent, because we do have a lot of content. But at the same time, for the type of player that I am, and I think we all are here, we're sitting here. I think I'd rather go just spit loogies out my window onto my neighbor's roof instead of play Cold War Zombies every single day. Yeah. Not to say it's bad, but you know what I mean.
Well, I think that what I was trying to say with that is that nowadays people kind of they don't take into account everything that's in the mode. When they don't like something, they don't count that as content, which, like, that's like me saying, just because I didn't like Voyage of Despair and Dead of the Night You're gonna kill me. Just because I didn't like
Amazing
those
map.
maps. Just because I didn't like those maps and didn't play them, that it counted not as content. So I was like, oh, I only technically have 3 or 4 maps because the other 2 I hate and I'm never gonna play.
Okay.
And I'd rather go jump off my window because
I agree
they're
with
just
you.
not content to me like that. I think that's happening right now where people are like, oh, I hate Outbreak, so man, where's the survival map because we haven't had one in 2 months, and that's 100%. I can't even. What the fuck did I just say?
I have a question though, Revived. I have a question.
Yeah.
So, if you didn't play something, do you agree with the statement that, or if you didn't play something a lot, do you agree with the statement that you should not be able to judge it? I hope so.
If you didn't play it a lot, you shouldn't be able to judge it.
Like, for example, the people who say I played Spaceland at my friend's house for 5 minutes, IW Zombie sucks.
Oh no, you can't. That's stupid.
Okay, so coming from the man who says Dead of the Night is not a good map, just says he didn't play it a lot.
No.
Interesting.
Listen. I never said that was a bad. I said that I don't like it, and I think it's bad. I didn't say that it is bad. I said I think it's bad. And I don't like it.
Okay, that's fair. Because your opinions
I don't think it is bad. I'm not doing that. No, I think it's it's for
That's
what
cool,
people like. It's a fine map, but I don't like it. And that's what I was saying. I think the best part about that map is the Wonder Weapon. I just love that fucking Wonder Weapon. It's so much fun to use. It's so good. But
I don't know what to say.
yeah, I mean, I still did play a lot of I still played so much BO4 because that was just I love BO4 as a game, even though people didn't, and that's why I really took everything that it gave and really, I gave a lot of it a chance. Obviously, Dead of the Night and Voyage were outliers, but I still think that they were decent for what they were. Right, there were still good maps and for people that like it. So, yeah, but I think now it's different. It's a different vibe to what people were like before, where they don't really play everything, and if they do, they just play for 5 minutes and then say it's trash. So, yeah. All right. So, Flamer, you got anything to add, real quick, about this topic?
Not really. I don't have anything else to say. You guys knocked it out of the park with that one.
All right.
I was just listening to you
anything
guys.
else you want to go into, Flamer? I actually kind of want to ask Joe a few questions. After we're no. Okay, Joe, you're gonna be asked questions. You're gonna be asked questions. You're gonna be asked questions. I have a couple questions written down for Joe. I want to
Oh boy.
ask him. So, do you want to go into that right now, or do you want, Flamer, is there anything you want to talk about right now before we go into it?
No, I basically said everything I wanted because I took the Intel system already in. If you're looking at...
That's what I want to talk about.
Touch up real quick on this. The Intel.
Oh, yeah.
The Intel system is used in Cold War to tell the story of the Dark Ether. And right now, if you've been looking at all the Intel, I can see Joe already. Like, oh god, here we go again. But, yeah, the Intel system is really interesting since it just takes a lot of time to collect everything. But in the meantime, if you start reading it, you can figure out the story and you can think that there are multiple new enemies coming to the game. We know how certain enemies existed in the Dark Ether. And
wait, really?
Yeah.
Aside from Outbreak, there's more than that, too?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So, do you know about the one, Joe?
I don't know the whole deal with it, no, but I saw there was a big debacle about it.
So, the one right now is the big enemy of us. Like, the Dragon module on Outbreak, right? And the crates?
Yeah.
He sends those to us from the Dark Ether to help him for his bank
Okay. Okay, I like that. This is interesting now.
Yeah. And the stranger warns of us that. Also, the people that are stuck in the Dark Ether, the lost survivors, they get chosen by the one to join his army, and they become certain kinds of zombies, like Tempest. I did a video on that. Fedorov was a Russian soldier who worked for Omega, turned into a Tempest because he survived too long in the Dark Ether. But the interesting part about that is that he was only gone for 2 days, but for him it looked like 30 years.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. He aged differently in the Dark Ether.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So, if we're thinking about that, Samantha has been gone for 3-4 days, and she says it's been months. But it could also be years. We don't know how the Dark Ether time works there.
Yeah, she looks shot.
Yeah. Like, I think in the next intels that we're gonna get, when Samantha is a little bit up, we're gonna get her story from what's happened inside of the Dark Ether, how she was able to send the zombies from the Dark Ether into Outpost 25, and also what the one involves, the Elder Gods being killed off by something. It's really interesting stuff. If you start reading on it, also the Krasny Soldat, you know, in Outbreak, you know how he resembles the Panzer?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the one captured one of the mechanics that was inside one of those suits, and he changed it and fused it together with the Panzer. And that's how it comes to be.
He fused the Panzer with what?
He fused the Panzer with one of the Russian guys in the suits
Oh,
from
shit.
Omega. And that's what made the Krasny Soldat.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to read up on the intel because this is good.
Yeah, and also, the stuff about the mimics is so interesting. Like, we know they can change into anything, but they're still alive. They're still conscious.
The mimics?
The
I'm so confused.
people inside of the mimics are still conscious.
Oh. That's horrible.
Yeah,
Hold on.
it
Let me
is.
switch out.
It is a giant ass horror story inside of that, but it's so cool to read on it, and that's why I made the Dark Ether files, since it's interesting to read about it. And I've also started messaging Eric Maynard.
Yeah.
Did you just smell that? Oh my! But yeah, I've messaged Eric Maynard that I said like, yo, if I find something, I'll message you. If you find something, you can do it. Yeah, sure. So now we're kind of working together. I'm sending him stuff if I can find it, and he sends me stuff when he can find it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's definitely all in on the story.
Yeah. So okay. So do you guys want to get into the questions? I have a couple.
Yeah.
Couple of questions I want to ask Joe, and a couple from the chat. So Joe, one quick Cold War question, and then we'll move on to some more fun ones. Okay, so what do you think about the story in Cold War, and is there anything that you would like to see to improve it?
To be honest, I've not been paying too much attention to as you can tell. I haven't been too much. As you can tell, I need to go back to English class today. No, I just haven't been paying too much attention to it. I definitely do care about it, but I'm more concerned with the gameplay. I think gameplay should always be the most important. Not to say it's not there, but you know, I haven't had time to really look at it. As soon as I'm done with school, I'm gonna read into everything, look at everything, and I'll let you know about that. But I'm very interested to see where it's gonna go, because Treyarch always pulls out a banger.
Would you say that like you're more worried about the actual quests themselves and things like that, and more gameplay side of things in the game?
I'm more worried about the map we get. I think the core gameplay in the game is absolutely phenomenal. I think I think everything flows great. A lot of people disagree with that, which is fine. But I like the core gameplay on the game. I think it's just the maps that we've gotten are meant to be very basic. And I'm just not. That's not my type.
You want more expansive type of map.
BO3, BO4 launch style maps. I'm all for. With the Cold War mechanics, bring Dead of the Night into Cold War. Even Ancient friggin' Evil.
Yeah. All right. There's one question I want to ask you real quick, Joe.
What?
So, Joe.
Yeah.
Why did you start to like baseball? Like, when did you start to like baseball, and why?
So I've been playing baseball since I was 3 and a half, 4. I've always watched baseball. I've always been, obviously taught to watch baseball. I've just picked it up. But yeah, I've been playing wiffle ball in the yard with my father since I was like 3 or 4. And then over time I started to actually play, hardball, not just wiffle ball. I remember even softball when I was really little. I used to like hit shots when I was like little. When I was like 5 or 6, I used to hit shots. Still do, but I was scared to run, so I'd hit the ball so far, and I'd look at everybody in the crowd. They knew they had to shut their eyes, and I watched them as I ran. I don't know why, but yeah. Since I was about 3 or 4, and it just kind of went on from there. I've been good as a bigger individual. It's been interesting because I can move. I gained a little bit of weight recently. I'm taking it off now, a little bit more weight, but it's been a journey. I smoke baseballs. I can move very, very well for my weight. And I'm still moving along with it. We'll see what happens. Still got some time left for baseball. I'll let you guys know how that goes.
All right, yeah, we definitely want to hear what comes to that, because it's great to hear that more people well, you especially, that gets a lot into the baseball, because, I really think baseball is a really fun thing to do when I was a kid, and I like to see that other people do the same thing. All right, so we have a couple of chat questions now. This will be fun. All right, first one I see is, Joe, what is your opinion on blue hair?
We need to get usually people who weigh over 600 pounds and have blue hair have very, very bad opinions. They usually tend to sway in a bad way in a lot of different ways, and that's where we'll leave it. I can't say that they need to be eliminated because that is very wrong, but they need to be taught.
Oh my god. Okay, so next question. Joe, what is your opinion on pineapple pizza?
Pineapple on pizza is awesome. I don't care. I'm Italian.
Okay.
That's like a disgrace. That's like a disgrace if you're Italian to say that. But you know what? I don't care. I'm more American. I'm not like right out of, right off the boat Italian at all. I'm like 3 or 4 generations down. So, not that that's an excuse. I just like it. It's good. I don't give a shit. It's great.
All right. That's fair enough. All right, next one. Joe, what is your opinion on the 2015 World Series?
Who asked that question? I'm banning them from my chat. It's ridiculous.
That would be Eggplant.
Oh, no, his name's Eggplant, by the way. Just call him Eggplant.
Eggplant. Okay.
He's forever Eggplant.
All right.
That's all I have to say to you.
Okay. This one's a little bit more in depth. Joe, do you think that we need I don't know what this means exactly, but he says, do you think we need a microtransaction system in Cold War?
Probably talking about zombies.
I think he's talking about, do you want like the old like gobblegum?
He said gobblegum. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Gobblegum system?
I was somebody who loved the gobblegums. I think in Black Ops 4 they took the gobblegums and they nerfed them in every way, and it made them kind of not as fun in Black Ops 4, and that's fair. But I mean, especially in a game where we're extremely overpowered, I wouldn't mind having gobblegums. I don't really think they fit in the game. I think we're kind of good where we are. But like going forward in the future, I'd rather have harder gameplay and gobblegums. I mean, although gobblegums make it easier and that kind of like eliminates the point, But gobblegum just made it fun. They provide a different way to play if you wish. You don't have to use them if you don't want to. You have your classics if you don't want to pay for any. And then you have your megas if you want to go all out. Sometimes we do no skill high rounds. We literally just spam power vacuum and round robins and we sit down and we have a fun chat. Sometimes, we do a high round, we have extra cash back. Sometimes we do classics only. It adds a different dynamic to the game. They're not necessary, but it adds a different dynamic. And I think, I honestly think that they are kind of necessary, but clearly Cold War, I thought they were, but clearly Cold War proved not. But I do want them back, yes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, they were really fun to use in BO3, and I don't really
fun.
I could say fun to some people but
no, I'm just fun. That's the point. Even if they're not good, they're fun.
They're fun.
Also, by the way, I just want to say this: Infinite sliding needs to come back.
Yes,
that's all.
Dude,
yes,
did that real quick. Why does zombies have to have the same exact movement and systems as multiplayer? I don't understand it.
There was a bug on my wall. I just scared the shit out of me.
Dude, you jump scare you?
Hey, bug. Did you see me jump?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, dude! I saw you like just react. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like,
even happened?
What's going on?
Oh my. Dude, this is a fucking wild episode so far. But yeah. So I
remember the beta revive where we were all playing and the sliding was like nuts.
Yeah,
like, hell yeah.
Dude, the alpha was insane. I remember PlayStation the alpha. You
slid week two.
Yeah, week 2. It was really BO3. It was BO3 basically. You could slide over.
Better.
I want to find footage because sadly I didn't record any, but I remember the sliding was insane. You could literally slide so many times, and I don't see why Treyarch can't separate the movement systems between multiplayer and zombies. I don't see why they can't do that. Because
they did it in Black Ops 3. They did do it in Black Ops 3.
Obviously, because BO3 or zombies didn't have exo movement. So like, why can't you make it so that zombies can have maybe a different sliding mechanic because, like, who's gonna fucking care if you're sliding so much in zombies? Are the zombies gonna be like, what the fuck, man? You can't slide like that around the corner.
Doing, bro?
You can't kill that fucking zombie, man. You can't kill me and my zombie friends, dude.
You can't kill me.
Around the building. You can't kill me. Like, I don't know. I think from a movement standpoint, BO3 or not BO3, sorry, Cold War at its alpha and beta were 10 times better than what we got released, but. That's sadly we can't really do much from there.
I do agree with that.
I do think that they should have kept that system with what you said, but yeah, Joe, this was really fun. This is a really fun episode.
Yeah,
it
was
awesome.
Episode.
It was a really fun episode. We talked about a lot. Thank you, Joe, for coming out. Also, chat, here's Joe's YouTube channel. If you guys want to go sub to him, I'd highly
links down in the
sub
description below. Hopefully, it updated. If not, I will do that in a moment.
Just amazing videos. He also streams on Twitch very often, so if you guys want to go check him out on Twitch as well, it's just twitch.tv/Joemet123. So go check him out.
Yep.
Only
elite plays only.
Elite plays only, yes. Very elite plays.
Elite plays only. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, yeah, and also the best 60-second guides you could literally find on the internet.
30 seconds for some of them. 30 seconds for
30 for some. Oh, shit. That's really good. All right.
Hey, Joe.
So, do you have
remember making that fucking firebase?
Oh, no.
Boom.
Rest in peace, who?
Rest in peace. Oh, yeah, we getting an Outbreak 60-second Easter egg guide? Are we going to get that?
Yeah, we'll see.
For all maps, hey? You gotta do it for all maps in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
He's gonna talk like this. I remember, we were just in a Discord call. He's like, I just fucking timed myself on 61 seconds. When it was 61, it was like, okay, I'm going for 30 seconds. Fuck, 32!
Yeah, that was interesting.
Oh, it was fun. Also, thank you for everyone that's been coming on my chat. Today was an insane day. One of my best days. Thank you guys for everyone that subbed today. I'll shout you guys after we're done here, but thank you guys for all the subs and the support in the stream. This is incredible. If you guys haven't, you can drop the follow and also go sub to Flamer. I'm going to put his link to his YouTube right here. Go sub to him. He's been doing great work, and we're going to be working on a lot more for the podcast. Episode 10 also, Flamer, if you want to go into that. Special surprise coming then.
I will say one thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The 10 episode special, we do not know if it's going to be the 10th episode yet. It all depends on planning. But there's going to be a special episode coming along the way, featuring
we might
a bunch of guests.
Yeah. We might title it just as a special episode.
Yeah.
We might not even title it as an episode number like we did last week. We might do it separate because these are kind of more linear with guests on each episode. But next week, I think we can say next week's guest. Why not?
Yeah, I can already say that. We're gonna get Josh on, aka Redact Official. So that's gonna be fun. He's known as the man called Ombra. If you were one of the Z-Lads chats, you know that Ombra talks like this the whole time. He's a funny guy. So it's going to be really fun talking to him about all of this and to hear what he says. He's been a giant supporter for the C-Cast as well. He's been in every single stream. So thank you so much, Redact, if you're still here. I just want to say, Joe, thank you for coming out today. It was really fun having you here. I think this was one of the funnest episodes we had on the channel. Not saying the funnest, but it was one of the funnest. Frankie Beans!
Frankie Beans!
Yeah, big shout out to Frankie Beans.
We couldn't do this without him. Could not do this without him.
Indeed. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I hope to see you guys in the next one.
Take care of your meatballs.
Indeed. Take care of your meatballs. See you guys.
Peace.